I don't understand Americans, which I love because it keeps things interesting for me. But my giddy aunt is something really amiss here. There's something that I just cannot fathom. Firstly, US inflation is higher than it has been in the past 40 years. It costs $100 to fill up a car with petrol, or I guess as you'd say in the US with gas. Filling up a tank with gas. Personally, I just expel gas, but yes. Number two, homicide rates are 44% higher this year than they were in 2019 in all major US cities. The New York Times has described it as a palpable sense of lawlessness and urban decay in one downtown after another. Third, federal constitutional protections in place since 1973, I believe, may be overturned next month. We all know what I'm talking about, hopefully. But if not, look up Roe versus Wade. And number four, the Russo-Ukrainian war rages on, claiming thousands of casualties on both sides of the conflict. But you ask, what are people obsessing over? What are they arguing over? What are they ending friendships and long-term relationships, marriages over, one could presume, based on what I'm seeing at least? Not money, not inflation, which is typically at the root of all relationships coming to some sort of end, not homicide rates, not a potential threat to one's human rights, not the outbreak of war in Europe for the first time since the end of the Cold War. Oh no, the defamation trial of Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard. That's what the vast majority of Americans are interested in right now, before everything else. And you may think, okay, that makes sense. This is a huge thing. Everyone's covering it. It's the first time that such a case has been broadcast live on television for everybody in the world to see. Surely one of these aforementioned four topics, four current events are, the second most important thing to Americans at the moment. A close second. Nay, coming in before everything else. Everything that I mentioned. I'm sorry, I just cannot express this enough. Elon Musk's decision to buy out Twitter. And what I find absolutely bizarre about all of this is, this. In an age where we seemingly all hate capitalism and the 1%, why is it that we are so obsessed with following and commenting on how the 1% decides to spend their millions and billions? Because in both cases, it is literally just billionaires throwing around their money because they can. So considering that this is just a show trial, I'm not going to be talking about our main characters because that is an oversaturated topic right now. And instead, I'm going to talk about some lesser known characters, although one of them is quickly garnering a lot of attention and a rather intense fan base. The internet is now obsessed with two other characters in this reality television extraordinaire because, of course, this isn't an actual legal case. This isn't an actual defamation trial happening in a court of law. Of course not. And as we've noticed, the modern human mind has to divide individuals into heroes and villains. And in this case, we all know who our hero is, Johnny Depp, and our villain, Amber Heard. And as such, our two sub-main characters are divided accordingly. Camilla Varquez, one of the 9 attorneys from Brown Rudnick, the law firm representing Johnny Depp, and Elaine Bredehoff, Amber's lawyer, who is basically considered one of the top 10 lawyers in Virginia, Washington, D.C., and Baltimore. She is considered a member of Virginia's legal elite and is, and I quote, a super lawyer. And I thought it would be interesting to talk about these two women because it really represented something interesting to me, which is our modern fantasy or conception of what a woman should be and what we look for and don't look for in women. And Amber is definitely an example of what a modern woman should not be. But, and this is important, but there's one thing that Amber, as an example of what a modern woman should not be, is not. And that is old, because the way that modern society treats older women, I would say, who are 40 plus, is pretty disgusting. And this is something that I can rarely see when you compare the internet's treatment of Amber's lawyer, Elaine, relative to the treatment of Johnny's lawyer and attorney, Camilla. But just before we get swallowed by the Kraken, I'd like to give a very warm and huge thank you to today's video sponsor, Wren. Now, if you've been watching this channel, you know that I'm a huge fan of Wren. Wren is a public benefit corporation, meaning that it puts the environment, social and political issues before profit creation. And I think that is an absolutely incredible thing to do, especially for you as consumers. You know exactly where your money is going. Wren is an example to other corporations and modern business models that it is possible to do better for the environment and for consumers. Wren is a company dedicated to addressing the climate crisis through your monthly subscription. All you have to do is get started with Wren's carbon calculator. This helps you, along with Wren, to determine your carbon footprint in your local environment. And ultimately, nothing else is expected from you because Wren does all the rest with your subscription. And importantly, keeps you informed, extensively informed on exactly how your money is being used and how impactful it is. Wren's team has the resources, the means, and the expert knowledge to determine exactly which projects across the globe are going to be the most impactful, are going to achieve what they set out to. Last month, over 21,000 people signed up to Wren. So go to Wren today using the link down below and start your climate change journey in the most effective, transparent, and beneficial way. And I kid you not, the first 100 people who sign up using my special link on screen right now and linked in the description down below will get 10 trees planted in their name. Thank you so much to Wren for sponsoring today's video. Oh, if you hadn't clocked in, this is a rant video. This is not analysis. This is me just, well, as the British would say, ranting. So I thought the best way to comment on this would just be to head over to that website, which shall not be named. First TikTok.
Excuse me? Mr. Depp got you that role in Aquaman, didn't he?
No, Miss Vasquez, I got myself that role by auditioning.
This is interesting. In any normal situation, this would be considered an incredibly sexist remark to make. The implication that one got one's job or one was rewarded financially or in terms of their career prospects purely because of their husband or their male partner or any partner. But because this is happening to Amber Heard, it's apparently all right. It's called a vibe. And just to be on the safe side, I searched far and wide on the internet to see how Amber landed her role as Mira or Princess Queen Mira in Aquaman. And by all accounts, she earned it fair and square according to the standards and dictates of Hollywood and casting. So I mean, just imagine if somebody asked you if you got, I don't know, this was probably the role of Amber Heard's career. If somebody asked me, did you get into Cambridge University because of your boyfriend? Your boyfriend got you in, didn't he? Need I say more?
Are you dating Johnny Depp? It's all over the internet. Can you set the record straight?
And this is also an issue that I have with turning something that is clearly not reality television into reality television, or permitting it to be turned into something such as this. And this was purposefully done. There is absolutely no doubt that Johnny Depp and his legal team wanted this case to happen in the state of Virginia because of the advantage in having it televised. But one issue with this is that people have created a story. They've created stories, rumors, sensations around things that are just not there, including the idea, the absolutely unfathomable idea that one of Johnny Depp's attorneys, obviously the young, beautiful lawyer, is dating him just because she, like all the other attorneys, who are representing him, hugs him, touches his hand, asks if he's doing okay, shows concern. And obviously she shows concern, like all of his other lawyers, because he's paying them bank. Just a note to anybody who's thinking of going to court for some reason. Your lawyer or your attorney does not care or love you.
Even the judge loves our Camille and takes care of her. That's right, baby, good light.
There's this light coming across. I appreciate that.
People are literally calling Camille my Camille or our Camille as if she belongs to the people.
No, I can't, just can't. 가져 내 맘을.
If you didn't catch that, somebody CGI'd Camilla into Aquaman, replacing Amber Heard with Camilla. And the reason I show this is just because it's very interesting to see how people are treating Camilla relative to Amber's lawyer, which is, well, noticeable and quite telling.
This is a work of art. This is bullshit.
Your Honor, hearsay.
Your Honor said I could redirect after the cross-examination.
Amateur Elaine, Virginia's top lawyer who has been practicing law since the 80s. Okay, obviously, the website that shall not be named knows best. It's as if everybody is in on a conspiracy, knows it's a conspiracy, but still goes with it for the sake of, I don't even know if it's for views and likes, but just to be in on something. Basically, the internet believes that Elaine is not only a victim herself of Amber Heard, insofar as having nothing and no evidence available to actually present a viable case, but they are claiming that Elaine is a closeted Johnny Depp fan, or sorry, stan.
Okay guys, I was tagged in the previous video. I freaked out and I didn't do any research, don't know if it was real, but you guys keep asking, is it real? So I went on YouTube and I found it. He's arriving to the Lone Ranger premiere in London in 2013. That video is real. I don't want to claim that it's her attorney. I don't know. It just sure looks a lot like her. And I'm about to show you the video because I'm in shock. I found it on YouTube. Here it is. Johnny Depp attended Lone Ranger UK premiere London. If you want to pull it up yourself, www.johnnydepp.ru. All right, here's Johnny Depp, and this is the area we want to pay attention to. And there she is. I'm screaming. I'm screaming. That was her. That's the video. There she is.
And this isn't the only alleged sighting of Elaine being a Johnny Depp fan. Apparently, he even signed something of hers. It's clear to me that any conception of the passage of time has completely left this world. Because considering that this was in 2013, let's go with the conspirators. Let's go with them. If this is Elaine in 2013, she looks exactly the same as she does now. That's some impressive anti-aging cream. L'Oreal really needs to get onto Elaine's game, especially now that they're likely not going to be working with Amber. But the thing is that you can see what you want to see in this trial. It's a narrative that is being created and fashioned around it. Take the example of Amber leaving the courtroom for a 15-minute recess that has been stated by the judge. She leaves and is drinking a bottle of water while she leaves, which is perfectly within her right and is exactly what everybody else in the courtroom is going to do. She leaves before them because she's been on the stand. So it makes sense. Yet this is the internet's reaction to her simply walking out of a courtroom at the start of an assigned 15-minute recess.
Next question. Yeah, okay. I don't have any more questions, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, ma'am, you can have a seat next to your attorney, okay? You can go and have a seat next to her. That's fine. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and take our afternoon recess then for 15 minutes. Do not discuss the case with anybody and don't do any outside research, okay?
And this is just describing Elaine as the meme or the stereotypical Karen. Words that I've seen to describe her are old, she mom-splains and is a mom-splainer. She's absolutely illiterate when it comes to tech, can't work her microphone. She's being put down by a vibrant Latina woman, which is also quite interesting. It seems completely fine that everybody is throwing stereotypes at Camila, throwing literal stereotypes about a Latina woman. I've seen Latina influencers and creators on that website, which shall not be named, making content reinforcing this because it's seen as a good thing. It's interesting how we love stereotypes when they are good or have positive connotations, but when they don't, and particularly when they don't with regards to POCs, that's a big issue. But it's completely fine to throw shade and to reinforce highly negative and offensive stereotypes at an older white woman. I hope that after this is all over, humanity in the modern world takes a good look at itself, because what I see is